Active listening helps us build relationships in our teams like nothing else. And we started learning about active listening with its first skill, reflective listening, in the last video. Reflective listening is restating or rephrasing, and it helps us to be sure that whoever we are listening to knows that we are listening to them. We're going to use that skill by using their own words. We'll change the pronouns, and then we'll repeat it to them in a neutral tone of voice, which is the hardest part of it. So it would be, I will never join a network marketing company. We will respond in reflective listening to, you will never join a network marketing company. The voice doesn't go up at the end, making it a question or a challenge. And it would be very easy for that to seem like a challenge because they probably know that we are a network marketer. It's hard, but what that does is establish to them that we're willing to listen to them, that we're not going to argue with them on that rather provocative statement. That's a really great way to get started in our conversation. It sets us up to continue to listen to them without our agenda. Now, you can only use that once or twice and then it gets old. So today, we're going to learn the next skill, interpretive listening. But before I do, let me introduce myself. I'm Connie Suarez. I'm a network marketing mentor. I am passionate about helping hardworking network marketers help their teams cross stage. And I believe that the relationships we build with active listening will go a long way to that. Be sure and subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to get notified when I post the next video so that you get this full series of active listening videos. Now, there is a listening 1-2 punch for network marketing leaders who want to build strong relationships with their team. And it's not going to knock them out, it's going to create a great communication between you and team members. The first punch we learned is called reflective listening. And by the way, I don't generally use a script, but I am needing, it seems, to have a little bit more of boundaries in where I'm going with this. So you'll notice I'm kind of reading, kind of not. So the first punch, reflective listening, and it is a tool that's kind of weird and it takes some practice. And you're only going to use it probably once in the beginning of a conversation. And that would be with somebody that you're really trying to establish a relationship. Maybe in a conversation with family or close friends, you won't even need that. But here's what it looks like. It's either restating or rephasing. And in either case, you're going to use their words, but you'll change the proteins and you'll repeat back what they said, either the exact words or the rephrasing of it, of the most important part of what they said, in a neutral tone of voice. So you have reflectively listened, and they know that you're not going to discount what they are thinking, that you value what they say. And it's not a matter of agreeing with them, it's just a matter of acknowledging what they are thinking. And it also gives them a chance to make sure that they were heard properly, and that it makes us sure that we heard them properly. Now then, once that's been established, then we go on to interpretive listening. It helps us get more information to get clarification, understand more what they're saying. And it will help us continue to release our agenda, especially in those conversations where this person in your thinking is a prospect, somebody you would like to either join your team or become a customer. And so you want to release that agenda so that wherever the conversation goes, you'll you'll be okay with that. With interpretive listening, we are listening for either feelings or hidden messages. And let's give an idea of what this is about. Suppose you are having coffee with your sister and she says, "Ugh, it's bill paying time again. I wish John would help me." What feelings might we hear in a statement like this? Is there a hidden message? In a conversation, you would have body language and tone of voice to help, but it seems likely there are feelings of dread or helplessness, or there might be a not so hidden message of frustration that her husband just doesn't help with a mundane job. Either one. How should we respond? Would you agree there must be something more that your sister wants to communicate? And think about this. Generally, people don't talk about money, even with family. It seems that there must be something really bothering your sister. But we don't want to make assumptions at this point because it could be a number of things. Don't you agree? Now, we could ask the obvious question, what do you mean? But think about it. How likely is she to answer that question? Isn't it more likely she will deflect that question and change the subject, and then we haven't learned anything? So it's how likely is it that she's expressing a reason to join you in your company? This we need to learn more. And I believe that she probably needs to be able to talk, have someone listen to her about whatever it is that she's talking about. It's been a pretty strong statement, ugh. How often does she say ugh? When was the last time you said ugh? I don't think I say ugh ever, but somehow I made it up in this conversation. So we have to decide what feeling or hidden message is being expressed. And it could be a dread of paying bills because of a hidden message of having more bills than money. There's certainly a lot of that going around, but we don't want to assume again. So here are the ways that we can explore the possibilities. Here are some lead-in phrases that are used with interpretive listening. It sounds like you hate bills as much as I do. It seems like maybe you're tired of TV sports. I get the sense you want more help from John. It seems to me that John isn't there for you. It sounds as though bills are a worry to you. Now, let me just go through that list again with just the lead in phrase. It sounds like, it seems, I get the sense, it seems to me, it sounds as though. I think those come much more naturally to us than that reflective listening where you restate or rephrase in the neutral tone of voice. It is important in this case to use a tentative voice. We don't want the neutral tone of voice this time. Use a tentative voice because we don't know for sure. We are testing our tentative understanding of what has been said. You could reply with feeling words. It sounds like you really dread paying bills, or it seems like you hate bill paying. So we use a tentative voice when we say these, and then we wait for the other person to respond. So she might say, "Yes, I do dread the bills. I must be sure that we still have money left over for gas and groceries. Or, I'm so tired of doing it by myself, John just sits and watches his ball game. So, as you can see, there is the possibility that we could get two very different responses. One is a feeling, one is a hidden message. At this point, aren't you glad you didn't jump to a conclusion? But we're not through. We can respond with one more, maybe more, but one more interpretive listening statement. For instance, the first response, you could say again with a tentative voice, it seems as though you are feeling a little desperate. This gives your sister the opportunity to freely talk about what she has kept to herself. There might be some relief for her in being able to finally talk about it to you. You let her take the conversation where she wants, but you will continue using the other three listening skills coming soon that you will fully grasp what she wants to tell you. Of course, it might be totally different. Your sister may just be tired of paying bills without her husband's help. The conversation might go this way. It seems to me like you hate paying the bills. You bet I do. I process accounts payable at work all day. I want to watch the Food Channel while John pays the bills for once. Your conversation will definitely go in a different direction, won't it? Again, aren't you glad that for that one interpretive listening skill that clarified what she said? Maybe this conversation won't end in your encouraging her to consider joining you in your business. With the 5 listening skills, you will be equipped to listen while she talks through her frustration and looks for a solution to her problem. Most of us have our own solution available. And sometimes the conversation may come around to, hey, listen, I am tired of being short of money at the end of the month. Can I look at what you're doing? And then it's her solution. You haven't strong armed her in it. Okay, let me just recap quickly. You hear what may be a feeling or a hidden message. You use a tentative voice to check out your perception with a statement that starts with, it sounds like, it seems, I get the sense, it seems to me, it sounds as though. Here are some of the benefits of interpretive listening. It will help your friend communicate their feelings, helps your friend clarify what they are feeling and thinking, allows you to check out if you are hearing the other person correctly, and it enables us to release our agenda and focus on what the other person wants. I always need to be doing that. But interpretive listening will be difficult because some of us aren't used to freely expressing feelings. Some have no problem. Others come from families like mine where feelings just aren't expressed. And because of that, we may have a limited feeling vocabulary. So we have to work on that. And if it's a hidden message, we may feel uncomfortable with what we feel is prying into others' feelings. And that's not true. We are giving someone an opportunity to talk as much as they want to because we've left it with them. It's up to them how much they say. And it can be difficult if we haven't released our agenda and are trying to steer the conversation to what we want to share. We have to give that up and know that when we care more about what someone else wants and needs, it will always work out in the end. So here we go. We're ready for the next listening skill that we're going to get into in the next video to make sure that you're getting all of these videos. Subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to be sure you're getting all of these videos. This is Connie Suarez. I'll be in touch.